Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Fagan, and I'm a Master Certified Life Coach. And today I want to share a story with you. I had the opportunity to share this story and a mini mindfulness lesson with a group of elementary age girls a few weeks ago. And I was blown away at how well they received it. I think the story has such a powerful message, not only for the girls that were in attendance, but also the adults that were supervising. And so it just inspired me to share this message with more people. So the story I have to share with you today is called A Tale of Two Wolves, and it is believed to have Native American heritage, and I believe it is linked to the Cherokee. I'm not 100% sure on that, so please forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I'm going to read the story for you. A young boy came to his grandfather, filled with anger at another boy who had done him an injustice. The old grandfather said to his grandson, "Let me tell you a story. I too at times have felt a great anger and even hate for those that have taken so much with no sorrow for what they do. But anger wears you down, and it doesn't hurt your enemy. It's like taking poison and then wishing your enemy felt the pain. And I've struggled with these feelings many times. It's as if there are two wolves inside me. One wolf is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony with all around him and does not take offense when no offense was intended. He'll only fight when it's the right thing to do, and he'll do it in the right way. But the other wolf, that wolf is full of anger. The littlest thing will set him into a fit of temper. He fights everyone all the time for no reason. He cannot think clearly because his anger and hate are so great and they cloud his judgment. It is helpless anger because his anger will change nothing. Sometimes it's hard to live with these two wolves inside me because both of the wolves try to dominate my spirit." The boy looked intently into his grandfather's eyes and asked, "Which wolf will win, grandfather?" And the grandfather smiled and looked down at his grandson and said, "The one I feed." I love this story. I loved it the first time I heard it. I thought it had such a powerful message, and I immediately went out and got a picture book of it so that I could have it on hand at all times. And so I'm really excited that I got to share it with you. And so now I want to tell you a little bit about some of the discussion that we had after this story was shared. So the first thing I want you to think about is, have you ever experienced the two wolves fighting inside of you? My guess is you probably have. Sometimes we can actually feel the tension. Sometimes these wolves are fighting. Sometimes one is just seemingly more dominant than the other. So which wolf is easier to feed? Oftentimes it's the bad wolf because it's simpler. Feeding the bad wolf allows room for you to complain, make excuses, even give up. But feeding the good wolf requires more discipline, more patience, more motivation, more effort, and even more courage. So which wolf is more beneficial to feed? The good wolf is going to bring you more peace and joy. The bad wolf tends to represent more intense or negative emotions and feelings. And I say negative not in the sense that they're bad, but rather that they tend to be more unpleasant to experience. So I want to talk a minute about emotions. All emotions are important. They are signals from your body to help you maybe take an action or make a change. Sometimes they help us to avoid danger. Sometimes they help us to make decisions. They can help us understand others. They can help us understand ourselves. And they can also help others to understand ourselves too. Emotions are messengers. So it's really important to learn how to recognize them for what they are, receive the message that they're trying to tell us, and then let them go so that you can move forward. If we allow them to stick around, they tend to become more intense, or they can sometimes, these more intense emotions can sometimes interfere with our rational thinking and our behavior because they can prevent us from seeing what's truly going on. And these intense emotions tend to only let us see what we want to see, or remember what we want to remember. And this can really prevent us from enjoying life. So I say this, but I want to point out that it's also not a good idea to ignore these emotions or deny negative ones, because emotions, all emotions, positive or negative, serve a purpose. And if you ignore them, they usually show up again, sometimes even more intensely. So the goal is really to receive the message, use it however you need to, and then move on. And this is where your power is. It's in your willingness to choose to feed the good wolf. So how do you feed the good wolf? Well, it's not by pretending that the bad wolf doesn't exist, because it does. And if you pretend that it doesn't, sometimes the bad wolf will get angrier and louder. So we need to acknowledge the bad wolf and receive the message that it's trying to send, but then we also need to let it go. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. And if we continue to hold on to it, it's just continuing to feed and grow that bad wolf. So we need to learn to let go. Letting go means you're feeding the good wolf. So how can you let it go? There's a lot of different things you can do. And a lot of them come back to finding a place where you can be creative, or move your body, or get still. So things like yoga, breathing exercises, grounding exercises, meditation or prayer, something that you can create, whether you're writing or coloring or painting or playing an instrument or even singing. And even going for just a simple walk around the block can make a big difference, or doing some sort of exercise where you're moving your body, or dancing. Just dancing in your living room is often a great way to help you release the feelings. So my final thoughts that I want to share with you are: the single most important relationship that you'll ever have is the one that you have with yourself. You know yourself better than anyone in the whole wide world knows you. And that's really cool, because you have all this insider information about you, about what you like, what makes you happy, what makes you calm, what inspires you, what's interesting to you, what feels good, what you're good at, what makes you feel proud or confident or comfortable. And that's all really cool, because it's all really helpful in your life, because you can use that to your advantage to make choices and decisions that work best for you. However, the downside is, because you know yourself so well, you also have this challenge of overcoming the things that you know that are maybe not so good. Okay. Not only do you know all your good stuff, you also know what you don't like, what upsets you, what can hurt you, what scares you or brings you down, what makes you feel small, what things you're not very good at, what things make you afraid or uncomfortable. And sometimes we use that information, insider information, against ourselves. But you have the power to choose. You have the power to choose your wolf. And it is my hope that in most situations, you can find a way to choose the good wolf. I would love to hear any of your wolf stories. Go ahead and share them in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, everyone.